Fury cheated. I'm just letting you know right now. You can debate with these fans and continue providing proof. You can do all of that. But it doesn't matter. Because for these type of fans, this has never been about finding the truth. This is all about race for them. This is about protecting the win by all means necessary. And some people in my comment section, they're even admitting that. They're saying, so what if he cheated? He's a better fighter than Deontay Wilder. Coincidentally, that's exactly what Teddy Atlas said. Even if he did cheat, he's much better than Deontay Wilder. But what people don't realize is when Luis Resto beat Billy Collins, once again, Luis Resto was a better fighter than Billy Collins. Luis Resto, he outboxed Billy the whole fight. And he ended up winning 7 out of 10 rounds. He won the fight easily. So what this tells us is the only time you can be rewarded for cheating because you're the better fighter is when you have the complexion for the protection.
Let me stop there. Of course, that was a clip of Donte's Boxing Nation on one of his latest videos that I'm going to counterpunch because he brought up some points that he was trying to make about first off what the fans in the comments said on Donte's Boxing Nation, and they said, so what if he cheated? He's a better boxer. Tyson Fury over Deontay Wilder. And for those fans that said that, I feel that that's absolutely 100% without a doubt wrong. Because if someone's trying to justify the fact that you're a better fighter, but then you had to cheat, or you cheated and it doesn't matter because you're a better fighter, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. I mean, that's a wrong, flawed way of thinking all the way through and through. Because if you were better, why would you need to cheat? You see what I'm saying? I mean, it made no difference at all if Tyson Fury cheated or not. If he was a better fighter, he cheated. It didn't matter. He cheated. Okay. So if you cheated, that fight doesn't matter. I know, I get that. But the thing is, being that Tyson Fury, you don't know if he cheated or not, and you want him to be found guilty for cheating, shows a lot. Okay. And moving on to the Luis Resto versus the Billy Collins situation. The difference between those two situations is, one, Resto got caught red-handed, okay, by the coach. The only difference was it was after, okay, versus Tyson Fury didn't get caught with doing anything at all. It's just some pictures were going around the internet. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. You can say, oh, well, Deontay Wilder has a dent in his head or knots on the side of his head that some doctor said we still don't know the name of, can say all day long, and you can make 1,000 videos about that trying to convince thousands of people that Tyson Fury cheated. But the truth of the matter is, JD's was there, and he witnessed no wrongdoing, okay? Before, during, or after the fight. Nobody was concerned about that whatsoever. Nobody cared about his gloves. Everybody was cared about the welfare of Deontay Wilder. That's the only thing people was concerned about. Obviously, JD's didn't really, not really, because he was going to let him get in there and get punched. Nobody talks about that, though. Okay? You know, those guys don't talk about that. And then Mark Breland came in to save the day. You know, save the man from further punishment, right? But for you and for Donte to compare Resto Collins to Fury Wilder, it's wrong. It is wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. You can't prove that Tyson Fury did that. With what? You don't have enough evidence. The day you have evidence, that's the day I really start paying attention. And you say, well, it's never been about the fight and people cheating. It's been about race. Well, how do we know that? Because Tyson Fury didn't get caught cheating. So how are you comparing Collins Resto to Fury Wilder. Okay, they caught Resto red-handed. Okay, they caught this man. They didn't grab Fury's gloves and say, hey, something's wrong with these gloves, investigate these gloves. And then Mauricio came and said, no, everything's fine, nothing wrong with these gloves, right? That would have been a totally different scenario, and that's what they're trying to convince people that happened based on what? Oh, Glovegate. You know what I mean? No, you have to come with some real evidence if you really want to make something stick. You know, the only thing they did is convince Tyson Fury to make a video because I guess when he heard it, it pissed him off. Whatever, right? But for the fans, again, to recap, for the fans saying it doesn't matter if he cheated or not, okay, shame on you. Woe be unto you, because that is not the way you're supposed to think. And it's retarded anyway, because if he's the better fighter, he shouldn't have to cheat. How about that? I don't care if he cheated or not. He won. He's a better fighter. Well, he shouldn't have to cheat. So if they find out he cheated, okay, that's a totally different story right there. Uh-oh. Right? But it would, that's that. But to compare Resto to Colin, and I know what the comparison is. Hey, well, Collins was a white guy. He was a white fighter versus Resto was a Puerto Rican fighter. And they banned this man for life. He could never fight again, right? He went to jail too, right? Okay. If we're going to compare it to something, like a true comparison, let's compare Margarito to Cotto. Or, no. Better yet, let's compare Margarito to Mosley. Okay? Because Margarito got caught, and the stipulations about it, yeah, it was one of those things where Margarito did it before, but they just couldn't prove it. They couldn't prove it because they didn't really catch him. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't, and guess what? They didn't really investigate that fight like they should have, But again, of course, that's the responsibility of the opposing team, Team Cotto. Okay, so yeah, they allowed Margarito to continue fighting after that, right? Now, that would make more sense. If Donte was actually doing his research, what would make more sense would be, okay, well, how is Mosley's welfare different than Colin's welfare? You know what I'm saying? He could have done that if he would have actually really been trying to do homework, but he's targeting the wrong fella. See, he bring all these bad situations up of people cheating just to get you an idea and get you riled up that these guys cheated, therefore Tyson Fury cheated, and then you think about the guys that actually got caught cheating, like Margarito, Resto, i.e., versus Tyson Fury, where they really didn't catch anything at all, besides some pictures that looked a little sketchy, but could have been altered. More than likely was altered. You know what I mean? I've seen gloves with Deontay Wilder altered. You know what I mean? Nobody, if somebody had wanted to put that much energy into people cheating, they would have ran with that. Glovegate, reversed. Deontay Wilder's gloves look funny due to the pictures that's floating around on the internet. Right? I mean, they could do it if somebody really wanted to. If you got one of those channels that were just that right-winged or whatever, just, hey, you know what? I think Deontay was cheating. He had metal in his hands, too. Nobody says anything about that. Some ridiculous stuff like that. But, hey, it's the same energy on this end. You know what I mean? Because yet, regardless of what the title, what does Deontay Wilder think about Tyson Fury Glovegate? That's nothing about this shows that Wilder said anything. From what I heard, yet. You know what I mean? But to compare Resto Collins situation to Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, that's totally off, because if that was the case, it didn't end the same way. If they would have caught Tyson Fury red-handed like they did Resto, this would have been another story. So it's hard to compare something where the situations are not the same. Anyway, that's my counterpunch on it. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.